this is Stephen Howson and this is my Manchester United youth review, and like all of my content in July, this is sponsored by the One Football app, which you can get on the iTunes store. Now this is an absolutely fantastic app, whether you're looking for football news in general or Manchester United news specifically. This is the place to go, and obviously with all the matches that we've got coming up and all the friendlies that we've got on pre-season tour, it's well worth a look as well. We've got the transfer section on here too, so you can check out the transfers from around football that are going on and what the likelihood is for all of those. We've got Ashley Young being linked with a move to Stoke here, but that's in the sun, so maybe we're not taking too much attention on that one. But as I said, this app is for everything that you need. Get the notifications turned on and then you can start following stuff. Like I've said a couple of times already, that this is quicker than Sky Sports usually for when the content comes up. So as we can see here, Manchester United International Champions Cup playing City this weekend. All the stuff that we need to know about this game, all the stuff that we need to know about the news. We've got the squad list in there, and as soon as the season starts, this is going to be the place to come for all of the stats and everything like that. Not quite got all that stuff in there yet because it's pre-season, but as soon as the season starts, this is going to be the place to be for that. So download the app, let me know in the comments what you think. I think it's an absolute cracker. Let's get on with the video. Hello everybody, this is Stephen Howson and this is my Manchester United youth review. I'm recording this on Wednesday morning, and Wednesday evening Manchester United plays Salford, and I'm going to try and include some of the footage from the game, but I'm going to preview the season prior to that, and I'm going to include some of the footage a little bit later on, and this will get released on Thursday. So Manchester United under-23s, the season before last finished as champions and then slipped. It's just absolutely boring a piss out of everybody last season, didn't we? We won 6, we'd drawn 8 and we'd lost 8, and we finished 6th in the league, same as the first team. But we finished 6th, 4 points off relegation and 22 points off being champions. That's madness. We was very close at one stage to being relegated, and despite having some wonderful individual talent, and you've seen all of the boys that popped up into the first team, especially against Crystal Palace, performed excellently, they were just not able to do it as a team on the pitch, and that's what has been a little bit of a nightmare for Manchester United under-23s recently. Now we've got a new manager. Ricky Sprague returns to take charge of the under-23s. He was previously the reserve manager prior to Warren Joyce and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He took over. He was taken over from them once he left to go to Bolton to work as part of Sam Allardyce's backroom staff there. And we're in a weird transitional phase at the moment for the under-23s. There's been a trickle of talent that's come up from the under-18s, including a couple of lads that have popped into it for this season. But United also used to supplement the reserve team and the under-21s and all the different things that it's been with the odd little signing, just a little player here and there, maybe someone that was overage, maybe someone that just wasn't quite good enough at 18s, backup players for the squad. Because a lot of the players coming from this age, they get to the likes of Harrop, and they go at 20, 21, and I think there's going to be some more from this team that do go as well prior to the start of the season. This team has needed investment for a few years, because it seems to me a couple of years ago a decision was made that the under-18s was going to be invested into heavily, and that's when we started to see the likes of Fosu Mensah. That's when we started to see the likes of Chong, players from overseas that have been brought in that have got a very high ceiling, that we expect to come in and do bits in the under-18s and then do bits at under-21 or under-23 level. Now, Fosu Mensah was not involved at all in the under-23 setup last season because he was in the first team squad. And I've been in two minds about how this is going to go down in terms of the players that are in that sort of bracket at the moment. So you've got your first team, you've got your 23s, and then you've got a couple of players that straddle both. And for me, that's Borthwick Jackson, that's Riley, that's arguably Willock, McTominay, Tuanzebe, Fosu Mensah and Demi Mitchell. Now, what's going to happen with all these lads? I actually think a lot of these lads are going to go. Some of them are out of contract. Some of them are perhaps looking to be moved on. Not happy with what's happened at the club recently. And I think that you can't just say promote the lads from the under-18s, because the under-18s, because of the type of investment the under-18s received, a lot of the players that we got in, especially last season, were 16-year-olds, were first-year scholars. So you're looking at players that are now just entering their second-year scholarship. I'm talking about the likes of Angel Gomez, the likes of Leo Connor. These are lads that are not quite ready for playing regular under-23 football. And there's also a big season for the under-18s. And I wouldn't want to see them dragged up into the under-23s where they could get mired down with average results and average performances and a team that's not quite there yet. I think it'd be much better for their development to play in a successful team and go and get some experience of winning things. We've got the Youth League that they can take part in. We've got the FA Youth Cup we want to have a good run at. And we really want to challenge again for the under-18s title. Now, we was pretty good last season, but we can always improve and we can always do better. And I think under McKenna's tutelage, they can do pretty well. Now, this team, this is what I think is probably going to be our strongest lineup. And you'll notice we don't even have a sub right winger there because I've just gone with the players that we've got. I haven't included Mitchell because I think, or Tuanzebe, or Fosu Mensah, because I think that they are going to be involved in the first team setup. Tuanzebe I've put on here because I think there's a chance he could still be involved in this. I also think there's a chance that Tuanzebe could get loaned out to aid his development. Now, I'll go through the players that I spoke about. Cameron Borthwick-Jackson, there's a lot of talk that he's going to be going to Leeds, and I think that he will go to Leeds. I think it'll be permanent, and I'm upset to see him go, in all honesty. Pereira, in net, he could go and move on a loan again because he did very well for Belenenses. Maybe he wants to go and get a bit longer than I think it was 9 games that he got on loan at Belenenses. As I said, Tuanzebe is far too good for this level, and if he's not going to be involved in first team football, he really should get loaned out. Joe Riley is far too good for this level. It's not really a benefit to him in terms of development to stay at this level. There could be another loan there. Matty Willock, there's a lot of talk that he could be moved on to Rangers. I think that's likely to happen, to be honest. And then you got Wilson up front. I don't think Wilson's going to go anywhere because of the lack of strikers that we've got, and I think his recovery probably requires it, and I think he might stick around until at least January, where he might have a loan move or maybe even a permanent transfer. But if you take Tuanzebe, Pereira, Borthwick-Jackson, Riley and Willock out of this team, I've not got the confidence that this team has then got the quality. I mean, you've got Wilson, you've got Williams, Warren would step in place of Tuanzebe, but the quality isn't there in the rest of the team. And it's unfair to ask 16 and 17-year-olds to step up to start playing against 23-year-olds. They're not ready yet, and I also think that the importance is on the under-18. So it could be another mare of a season for this under-23 side. There's some exciting players in there. Callum Gribbin's an exciting player, but he didn't really put himself into these games last season. He didn't really step up and command the authority that we sort of expected from a player of Gribbin's talent. He's got a lot of work to do because he's going to be asked to carry a lot of the attacking threat that this team poses. He's going to be asked to take up the mantle of what Josh Harrop was doing in creating goals for us last season, because there's not that much else out there. Boonan's going to straddle with the Youth League and this team, and I don't know if Boonan's ready. I like Boonan, I like how direct he is. He's a very good player, but he's going to have to settle into this level as well. Buffon and Whelan we saw was excellent in the under-18s last season. I think they would form a decent basis of a midfield, but I think to get the best out of this team, you have to revert to the 4-3-3 that the under-18s played last season. 4-2-3-1 is a little bit predictable, a little bit static, and we don't really have a magician as a number 10 that we can play off a striker that's really going to unlock defences. At the back, Kenyon and Olasunde would drop in as left and right fullback. I just don't think they're at the level of the lads that they're replacing. Riley and Cameron Borthwick-Jackson I see having big careers high up in the football pyramid, possibly Premier League, certainly Championship. Kenyon, not sure on. He is a good player, but he's still young, he could do it. But Olasunde is getting to the sort of age now where he really should be commanding that sort of game, and he's not quite there for me. So it's a difficult one. It is a difficult one. Tonight against Salford, I believe Bowie's going to be leading the line. And I think that the team is going to look more or less like this. I'm not sure what's happened with Wilson. I hope he's not got a knock. I would like to have seen Wilson get a run out. There may be some under-18s that backfill into this side prior to their Super Cup game at the weekend. But this is going to be another one of those seasons, I think, for the under-23s. Spraggy has really got his work cut out. And unless there is some investment, and maybe that's one of the things that Spraggy is able to come in and do, is to actually say, I want this player, and I want this player, and I want this player. We're not looking to sign superstars. Manchester United, from their point of view, can put their faith in the big signings that they're getting, the likes of Puigmal and Traore, for the under-18s. They can make them their big money signings, if you like, at this level. But we just need some strength. Otherwise, you're going you're doing a disservice to the players that you believe in. So there's some players, aside from the ones that I think could go on loan or be moved up, the likes of Williams and Warren and Buffon and Whelan and Gribbin and Boonen and Durnley. These are players that I think have really got the opportunity to go and do something in the game. Manchester United will be doing them a disservice if we don't get some players in that can help them play football. Because otherwise we're just going to be worse than the teams that we're playing. And these lads aren't going to learn anything from just being beaten all the time. You don't learn anything when you completely steamroll teams, and I don't think you learn anything when you're getting steamrolled. The learning comes in the friction of having competitive football. And United at the moment, in this team, I don't think we can be that competitive. Which is a shame, because there's some delightful individual talent in this one. That will do for me. I'll probably throw some game footage in from the Salford game tonight into this. So check that out, have a look at the result, and let us know what you thought of the game in the comments, because that game will have happened already by now. So stick it all in the comments. Thank you for watching. Next week we're going to be talking about some of the possible transfers that I think can happen in the academy. So thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you later.